I want to show you two basic transaction types in Dynamics 365 Business Central. We're going to take a look at fixed assets. We're going to look at acquisition transactions and also disposal transactions. So let's get started. There's a number of ways to get fixed assets added to your system in Business Central. There's a manual entry. You can copy an existing asset, create a new asset from that. You can add an asset through a purchase order, through a purchase invoice. You can also import from Excel. And then the second step is acquiring that asset. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then we'll take a look at disposal and retirement. It's a fairly simple process. We'll take a look at that, and associated with that are the fixed asset posting group. And we'll take a look at options in there and how it's important to set that up to make sure that your reporting out of the general ledger is what you want. I'm logged into Business Central, and these are my fixed assets that I currently have in the system. We can easily add to this by manually typing in a new asset. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on new, type in the description of what I'm adding. Adding to that, I want to assign fixed asset class code and a subclass code. The class codes I have set up in my system are pretty basic. You can use this. And then I want to select the proper fixed asset subclass code. The reason it's important is not just because it's a tag, but it's also tied to a fixed asset posting group. On that posting group are a number of different types of transactions related to fixed assets, and then the related GL account. This makes reporting easier. You can specify exactly how you want different types of transactions and different subgroups to behave. You can also set up separate locations. Now, these are not inventory locations. These are separate fixed asset locations. You can see those listed here. I'll select one. I can also add a serial number if I want to. I can add a picture if I want to. Let's import this one here. There we go. I've got my asset set up. Basically, I've got a picture of it. If I wanted to, I could add attachments. If I had a vendor quote or a vendor invoice, I could add it here. But now I'm just manually entering this new fixed asset in. The depreciation book will automatically populate based on the fixed asset setup. I've got that here. This is the posting group. We'll take a look at that later. Then I can enter the depreciation start date. It's a 7-year asset. I've got different depreciation methods. These are the ones I have in my system. I use straight line for my corporate book, but I also have some tax books that I might want to use. I'm using a declining balance for those. I have some additional fields at the bottom that I can fill in if I wish. I can identify the vendor from whom I purchased this. I can also identify a maintenance vendor if I want to do that, identify service dates, warranty dates. All that information is on the fixed asset card. If I have rolling stock, I can add that information in here as well. This information here has to do with trucks going into Mexico, so we'll leave that as it is. This is now a fixed asset in my system. There's an additional step that needs to take place. That's called acquire. So I've got this information. What I need to do is acquire it. We'll do that later. It's kind of a purchase transaction. It basically says, where did I get this asset from? We'll take a look at that later. So we'll just leave this as it is. If I go back to my list, we can see that that asset has already been added to the system. It still has not been acquired. It needs to be acquired. You can see that toggle right here. It needs to be acquired. We'll do that later. So that's one way to add an asset into the fixed asset system. Next, we'll take a look at copying an existing asset. Let's copy this asset right here. We'll open it up. This laptop is already in my system. It's been acquired. We can take a look at the transactions. Open that up. This is the invoice transaction on which it was purchased. So what I want to do is copy this asset. It's easy to do. I'll hit copy fixed asset. I can make a number of different copies if I want to, which I might want to do if I've got laptops. Maybe I ordered 50 of them. I can add all of them as separate items if I want to. I will use this default number here. Let's go ahead and say OK. And now if I look at my fixed asset list, I can open this up. This is the new asset. You can see that here. I'm going to change the serial number, but it takes on the attributes of that asset we copied it from. I've got the picture there. If I had specific documents related to the purchase of this asset here, I can add that as an attachment. I've got the depreciation books and I've got the straight line book here. This is my company book. This is the one from which I record actual GL entries. They're posted to this book. And I've got two separate tax books. I have those tax books here because they were copied from the other asset. I can delete those if I don't want them on this particular asset, but I'm just going to keep them here. And again, needs to be acquired. We'll do that later. So that is a second way that we can acquire assets in Business Central. We can just copy an existing asset, bring all the attributes of that asset into a new asset. It'll create the new asset and go from there. Next, let's look at the purchasing function and how we can add new assets with the purchase order and the purchase invoice. Let's add a purchase order here. Here's the vendor for whom we're purchasing this asset. Let's fill this out. And now the detail lines, I'm going to have a different type of detail line for this particular purchase order. If I open this up, I can see that I can add a fixed asset here. I'm going to do that. Open up here. I'm not adding an existing fixed asset. I'm adding a new fixed asset. So let's go to that dialog. This is basically the same dialog that we walked through for manually adding an asset. And that's basically what we're doing here. So let's add this asset. So I'm adding the asset here. I'm not putting in a book value because that needs to be added through an acquisition transaction. This purchase order, when it's posted, will act as the acquisition transaction. So I'm pretty much done with this. Let's just hit OK. Now, if we go back to our fixed asset list, let's take a look at that. We can see that this fixed asset has already been added to the list. Let's open it up. It needs to be acquired. We're in the process of acquiring it because we have this in a purchase order. I'm finishing up the line of the purchase order. I'm going to specify the quantity and the cost. This cost will become the purchase cost of that fixed asset. This becomes the acquisition transaction. So when we post this, we'll get a transaction for this asset. So this is all I need. I'm going to go ahead and post this. I'm going to receive an invoice this. Let's take a look at that asset now. Here's the asset we just added through the purchase order. Let's take a look at that. And this has been acquired through the purchase order. This is grayed out, and you can see the toggle has been switched. So let's go down here. Let's take a look at the book value. We can open that up. We'll see the transaction from which this was acquired. We can take a look at this transaction. Let's find the entries related to this. We're going to have a number of different transactions. Here's the invoice itself. These are the general ledger entries that were made. You can see those right here. The GL accounts assigned to this transaction were based on the fixed asset hosting group that was assigned to the office equipment subgroup. You can see the fixed asset entry right here. So this fixed asset is fine. It's been purchased, it's been acquired, it's ready to go. It has a depreciation set up for it. We can take a look at that depreciation right here. So this fixed asset is ready to go. It's been acquired. I've got a depreciation book set up for it. This is a setup from the fixed asset setup. This is the company book. This is the one I want because this is the book on which I calculate depreciation and send that to my general ledger. Let's take a look at another method for acquiring an asset. Purchase invoices. Let's create a new one here. So I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to add a new asset on this purchase invoice, but I'm also going to pay for an existing asset that we added manually. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll add a new asset. It's a tangible item. Subclass code will be office equipment, and we'll find a location for it. Put the serial number in. Here I'm adding a new asset on the purchase invoice. It's been added. If we looked at the fixed asset list, we would see that asset there. Let's put in the price. And now what I want to do is I want to acquire one of those assets we added manually. It's going to be a fixed asset type line here. I can look up the asset here. These are all the assets in my system. We're not going to be adding a new one because we already added the asset. We just want to acquire it. Go down here to the bottom. I'm going to acquire this HP laptop. This is an asset that we set up by copying another laptop. So let's just select that. So what I'm doing here is I'm establishing the cost of this HP laptop. Also with this purchase invoice, I'm adding a new asset, the first line here, and I'm also showing the cost of that new asset. So one of the things that I really like about Business Central is they've introduced this new preview posting functionality on most of the transactions. Let's take a look at the preview posting. This is especially helpful when I don't do this type of transaction on a regular basis, or maybe it's a more complicated type of transaction. I can run this preview posting and I can look at what I'm going to get when I post it. Let's open up the GL entry. You can look at these account numbers. It's exactly where I want it to go. Accounts payable. And this is an invoice, so that makes complete sense to me. I can also look at the fixed asset ledger. It includes two acquisition transactions, the one that we added on the purchase invoice, plus the one we had previously added by copying another asset. So that's exactly what I want. I'm going to go ahead and post this, and we're done. Let's take a look at these assets. Here's the one we had previously copied. We can open that up. That now has a book value. We can drill down into that and see the transaction. This is the invoice that we just created and posted. And we can look at the server network card. This is a new asset that we added on the purchase invoice. We also paid for it. So I've got a book value on that as well. We can see that here and drill down and get all the information that we want on this particular transaction. Next, what I want to do is I want to add a number of assets by importing them with Excel. This is really easy to do. We're going to go up to Edit in Excel, take this list, which is a fixed asset list, and download it into Excel. This is my entire asset list, downloaded from Business Central. You can see that it's in Excel. I can make changes here and publish them back into Business Central. And what I want to do is I want to add a number of assets easily in this Excel spreadsheet and then publish back to Business Central. So I have this list of lab equipment that I just purchased. I want to add it to my fixed asset listing. So let's go ahead and do that. Just going to copy here, copy from this list, and just paste it into my edit in Excel. I can add some additional information here. Business Central is going to add the fixed asset number when I publish this back to Business Central. I'm going to take these values here, copy those in, and that's all I need. I can now add this into Business Central by clicking on Publish. You can see the notice here that's been properly updated. So I'm done with this worksheet. Next out of it, I've got the new assets. Let me refresh this list. So these are the assets that I just added by importing them from Excel. You can take a look at one of them. This asset still needs to be acquired. We're going to do that next. And you can see I've got the basic information here. I've got the depreciation starting date I need to add, but I'm going to leave this as it is here. We'll add that later. Because what I want to do now is I want to focus on the acquisition piece. So we've added these assets. There's 8 assets here, and I'm going to acquire those. And I'm going to acquire them through a purchase invoice. Create a new purchase invoice. I'll look up the vendor, enter that information. And now I'm going to do is specify the individual assets that we've already added to the system and show these being acquired, showing them being paid for. I can do this in the purchase invoice, the purchase order. I can also do it in the fixed asset journal ledger entry. This one's simpler, it's more straightforward. It's probably similar to the type of transaction that you might do. So let's add a line here and do fixed assets, add the microscope. So I've added these 8 assets to my purchase invoice. These are assets that we imported. Now I'm just doing the acquisition piece of it. Scroll over here and we'll do the costing on this. I've got the purchase amounts from my vendor's invoice. I've got the quantities. I got the different items listed, the existing fixed assets. So I'm going to go ahead and post this and look at the preview posting list. Make sure it's what I want to do. You see these options here. This is the fixed asset account here. This is the payables account. So that's what I want. We can see it's going to process the acquisition transactions for these 8 assets here. So I'm good with this. Let's go ahead and post it. Now these 8 assets have been acquired. You can see the acquired toggle switch is set here. This is ready to go. as all the others in this group. Let's go back and look at our fixed asset list. You can see the assets listed here. We got the acquired toggle here. Here's one that has not yet been acquired. We need to acquire it. So let's go and take a look at that. So for this one, we can acquire it right from here. It'll create a general ledger transaction. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to use a fixed asset clearing account. Select that here. Hit next. I'm going to put the acquisition cost in here. I'll enter the acquisition date. Let's go to next. It's going to open up the fixed asset journal ledger transaction. Let's open that up. You can see I've got a fixed asset transaction here and also the journal ledger transaction. The FA clearing account becomes an account on which I can clear that, can look at all my purchases that have been acquired. If there's anything in that account, that'll be a notification that I need to clear that. Let's go ahead and post that. So we looked at several different ways that we can add an asset to the fixed asset system in Business Central. Let's take a look now at the disposal or the retirement of those assets. To retire an asset from fixed assets in Business Central, we're going to use this journal right here, the Fixed Asset GL Journal. Let's open that up. So here we're looking up the asset we want to retire. This is the one I want to retire right here. This is this laptop. It's going to be a disposal type. So what I do is I enter this fixed asset line here, but I can hit Insert Fixed Asset Balance Account. It's a little easier way to do it. It also creates the transaction for me, verifies that it's been done. Again, this is an unusual transaction for me, so I'm going to preview the posting. Let's take a look at that. There's a number of things going on. I've got the sale right here. It's recognizing the sale for $1,400. It's backing out the original cost of this HP laptop. It's calculating the gain or loss on this laptop up here in the first line. And it's backing out the depreciation. So that's a lot of activity that's happening on this disposal entry, but this is what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and post this. And that's it. I've disposed of that entry. I've made all the entries in my general ledger that I need to, and also a fixed asset listing. Next, let's take a look at the fixed asset posting group. Here I've got all the fixed asset codes in my system in Business Central. You can see those down in this column here, and across the top, I have the different transaction types that I can process in Business Central. In the grid here are individual GL accounts that are going to be used when these types of transactions are processed in the system. Now, out of the box, this grid does not have a lot of these columns. I had to add these columns here, but you can easily do that with Personalize. If I go to Personalize here, let's take a look at other fields that are available. You can see that this screen has a lot of other different fields. I just add the ones that I need. During system setup, we'll add these for you. And as you use the system and try different types of transactions, you may come across a transaction type for which you do not have the GL code. It's easy to add it right in this table here. This was an in-depth look at two different types of transactions in fixed assets in Business Central. We looked at 5 different ways to add assets to Business Central. We went through the acquisition phase and what that means to Business Central. And then we looked at the disposal and retirement transaction that's built into Business Central. And then we looked at the fixed asset posting group that helps Business Central decide which GL accounts to use for the different types of transactions. If you're ready to deploy Copilot in Microsoft 365, download our free guide with the link in our video description.